Video. Today we're going to be looking at Leetcode 28. Find the index of the first occurrence in the string. We're told that we're given two strings, needle and haystack, and we need to return the index of the first occurrence of needle in haystack, or -1 if needle is not part of haystack. We're given an input haystack, sad but sad, and another needle, and the needle being sad. And we return the output of 0 because sad occurs at the index 0, and 6, but the first occurrence is at index 0, so we just return 0. And we're given an example where the needle is Leetcode, and Leetcode does not exist in the haystack Leetcode, so we return -1. And we're given some constraints, and we're told that haystack and needle consist of only lowercase English characters. Fantastic. So you might have guessed it by now, but the way we can solve this question is by having 2 pointers and doing a sliding window approach. And if we get to a point where the characters that we've accumulated does not equal to, or does not start with, or the needle does not start with the characters that we've accumulated, then we can just keep shifting our pointers until we do find our needle, and if not, we just return -1. So let's start off with setting our 2 pointers. Like we said, we'll set them both to 0, and we'll create a temporary string which will hold the characters of our potential needle so far. So let's say while r is less than the length of our haystack, we'll say if our so what we want to do here is say temp plus equals haystack r. So what this will do is it will add the current character that we are at, and we'll add it to our temporary string. Then we'll do a bit of logic. We'll say if our haystack, or if our temporary needle, equals, so I keep getting mixed up with the variables, but basically if our temporary variable equals our needle, then we can simply return L, because L will be the beginning of our needle. If our needle does not start with our temporary variable, well, now we know that what we've got so far is not going to be our needle, so we can just say if it equals to false, we'll set our temporary string back to the default, back to an empty string, because we need to start the process over again. We'll set L equal, we'll increment L by 1, and we'll set L equal to, or R will be equal to L. So we're going to begin the whole process again, basically. However, if so far we have, let's say, S and A, but not D, well, then we can carry on incrementing our right pointer, and then we'll find our needle on the next iteration. But what if we finish the while loop, we finish iterating for our haystack? Well, then, like the problem says, we're just going to return -1. So let's run the code. Time limit exceeded. If needle starts with temp, if temporary equals our needle. I set R equal to 1 instead of L. That will do that. So let's run our code again, and we pass the 2 sample test cases. Let's submit our solution. And it looks like we passed all 83 test cases. So In terms of time complexity, we're looking at a single pass, so O of n time complexity, and our space complexity will be at most O of n space complexity as well, in the worst case scenario. So I hope this video made sense, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.